Let's take a look at power in organizations. Within an organization, power should be viewed in a positive sense. For our purposes, power is a person's ability to influence others to do something they wouldn't otherwise do. There are two sources of power: position power and personal power, also called structural and social power. Position power is derived from top level management and is delegated down the chain of command. Personal power is derived from the person. We all have personal power to varying degrees. The use of coercive power involves threats or punishment to influence compliance. Coercive power is appropriate to use in maintaining discipline while enforcing rules. To have strong coercive position power, you need to have a management job that enables you to gain and maintain the ability to hire, discipline, and fire your employees. Connection power is based on the user's relationship with influential people. The right connections can give you perception of having power, and they also can give you actual power. To increase your connection power, expand your network of contacts with important managers who have power. Reward power is based on the user's ability to influence others with something of value to them. Get a management position and gain and maintain control over resources. Have the power to evaluate your employees' performance and determine their raises and promotions. Legitimate power is based on the user's position power, which is given by the organization. The use of legitimate power is appropriate when asking people to do something that's within the scope of their jobs. Let people know the power you possess and work at gaining people's perception that you have power. Referent power is based on the user's personal power. A person using reference power relies on personality and the relationship to gain compliance. To gain referent power, develop your relationship with others, stand up for them. Information power is based on the user's information being desired by others. Have information flow through you, know what's going on in the organization. Expert power is based on the user's skill and knowledge. Being an expert makes other people dependent on you. The fewer the people who possess the skill or knowledge, the more power the individual who does possess it has. Expert power is essential to people who have to work with people from other departments and organizations. They have no direct position power to use, so being seen as an expert gives credibility and power. Persuasion is not coercive power or manipulation. Persuasion takes careful perception and proper presentation of arguments and supporting evidence in appropriate and compelling way. To help persuade people you don't supervise, you can use influencing tactics that focus primarily on personal power. Before we discuss each of the five tactics, let's discuss reading people and creating and presenting a win-win solution so you know which influencing tactic may work best in a given situation. An argument presenting your view may sound good to you, but they may seem irrelevant to another person. If you're going to influence someone, you have to understand the person's values, attitudes, beliefs, and use incentives that will motivate the individual. Put yourself in the place of the person you want to persuade, your boss, coworker, and so on. Anticipate how the person sees the world, perception, and what his or her expectations are during your persuasion interaction. Get the other person's expectations right. If you don't, you most likely will not influence the person. Incorporate the information about the other person's expectations into your persuasive presentation. In other words, use the influencing tactic that will work best with the person. When you want someone to do something to help you, it's easy to focus just on yourself and your personal gain. But recall that the key to human relations success is to develop a win win situation for all relevant parties. With the ingratiation tactic, you are friendly and give praise to get a person in a good mood before making your request. Never go a day without giving praise. The rational persuasion tactic includes logical arguments with factual evidence to persuade the person that the behavior will result in the meeting the objective. The inspirational appeal tactic attempts to arouse people's enthusiasm. With the personal appeal tactic, you request the person to meet your objective based on loyalty and friendship. With the legitimization tactic, you rely on organizational authority that a reasonable request is being made and that the person should meet your objective. You should realize that the five influencing tactics can be used together to help influence others. Politics is the process of gaining and using power. As you can see from the definition, power and politics go hand in hand, as they both are used to influence others to help you get what you want. The amount and importance of politics varies from organization to organization. However, larger organizations tend to be more political, and the higher the level of management, the more important politics becomes. But try to avoid and prevent unethical politics that is dysfunctional. Political behavior is used to develop relationships that are necessary to get the job done. Three primary political behaviors commonly used in organizations are networking, reciprocity, and coalition building. Networking is the process of developing relationship allies with key people for the purpose of politicking. Your network of people helps you get your job done. Politics is about reciprocal exchanges. Reciprocity involves creating obligations and debts, developing alliances, and using them to accomplish objectives. When others do something for you, you incur an obligation that may be expected to be repaid, and vice versa. A coalition is a network of alliances that helps you to achieve a specific objective. Reciprocity is primarily used to achieve ongoing objectives, whereas coalitions are developed for achieving a specific objective. So, to put the three political behaviors together, political success is about developing networks of alliances and coalitions in reciprocal exchanges. When the exchanges create win win situations for all members of the alliance and the organization, the goal of human relations is met. Vertical politics are relationships with supervisors and subordinates. They're the most important people in whom we develop effective human relations. To be successful, honor relationships and commitments. Your relationship with your boss will affect your job satisfaction and can mean the difference between success or failure on the job. Needless to say, you should develop a good working relationship with your boss. Don't try to change your boss. Analyze your boss's style and preferences, and if necessary, change your style to match his or hers. Knowing your boss, or anyone else for that matter, can lead to better human relations. It's helpful for you to know your boss's primary responsibility, what your boss regards as good performance, and how your performance will be elevated, and what your boss expects of you. Your boss will expect loyalty, cooperation, initiative, information, and openness to criticism. If you've done something that makes your boss look bad or in some way hurt your relationship, such as breaking any expectations they might have, you need to earn back his or her trust to reestablish your good working relationship. Your boss can give you poor evaluations that can make your life relatively miserable. The manager must consider the work to be completed as ultimately more important than the needs and desires of those doing the work, including the manager's own needs. In developing manager employee relations, you should follow some guidelines in human relations. You should strive for harmonious relationships where questions and differences of opinion are encouraged and settled in a peaceful manner. The relationship between manager and employee can't be one of real friendship. The nature of supervision excludes true friendship because the manager must evaluate the employee's performance and give direction. The open door policy is the practice of being available to employees. For effective human relations, you must be available to employees to give them the help that they need when they need it. If employees view you as being too busy or not willing to help them, poor human relations and low morale can result. Use your power wisely. Remember, your success as a manager depends on your subordinates and your teamwork. If you want employees to meet your expectations, create a win win situation. When you ask subordinates to do something, answer their unasked question, "What's in it for me?" Horizontal politics are your relations with your peers and with members of other departments and organizations. Let's discuss how to develop effective horizontal politics. Realize that when you give anyone praise or thanks for helping you, it influences them to continue to help you with favors. So give lots of praise to everyone. To be successful, you must cooperate with, compete with, and sometimes even criticize your peers. Your success as an employee is linked to others' employees in the organization. If you're cooperative and help them, they should have a positive attitude towards you and be willing to help you and meet your objectives through reciprocity. Your boss will compare you with your peers when evaluating your performance, giving raises, and granting promotions. Like a great athlete, you must learn to be a team player and do your share of the work to help your peers be successful. But at the same time, you have to look good as well, without being selfish, bragging, or being a ball hog. If your peers do something they shouldn't, you owe it to them to try to correct the situation and prevent it from reoccurring. Be ethical. Don't cover for a peer in trouble. You will most likely only make things worse for everyone involved, including yourself. You'll most likely need the help of other departments and organizations to succeed. You'll need the HR department to hire new employees, accounting to approve budgets, purchasing to get materials and supplies, and so on and so forth. Developing good human relations through being cooperative and following these guidelines set by the organization will be important to your success.